generally. I think I have all your stuff in here. Oh, you're just over. You're over on that map. Okay, some trees.
Yeah.
Okay, I set you on the over map. That's what I did.
Okay.
Okay, I was just trying to remember what's going on. A little bit. Generally little. So let's see. And let me do some count. So generally, just waiting for more building stuff, and then I think what were you trying to do again? There's
Me,
quite a last
me or
time.
DJ?
No, generally what we were doing. I think it
So
was
Alrix was heading down to where the capital, this capital's going to be.
yeah his actual place where he wants his capital.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Where Fishing Village had popped up because he hadn't decided to go down there in like 2 months. So everyone that went
well,
down, they were just like, well, might as well go fishing.
well, fish is fish though. Hey, nothing's wrong with fish, right?
It ain't much.
But that's why they haven't done anything other than did stuff at the docks, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So that's not taking up anywhere you would be able to have somewhere to be. They just have generally the basic things they need to function over there. That's all they have.
But he's still like,
That's what I.
probably like 2 days out. And he's still like 2 days out from it. Oh,
Let's see. That's generally that chaos. I would go to somebody to do something, but other than the only other individual I can do something with is already here, and that's DJ.
Hi.
Another person I could do something with, they're not in the voice chat call, so I can't go to them. But oh well, because you're still kind of traveling. Your character is Catbox as an Alex
yeah.
is.
I was in a cave. Yay.
He's he's dealing with giant ants.
But does the tunnel end or no?
It does, and the area it does end, but you could look to see if there's any material at the end of it. But if you realize they kind of been using this one as tube, pretty much. They're using it for garbage.
That's not thing new. Pretty chitin. Or chitin.
Yeah.
Chitin's from arachnids. Chitin's from beetle-like things like ants. Because they have the thing with us. Oh no, that's keratin. No, keratin is like from beetles and stuff.
I thought keratin was the stuff that was in your fingernail and your hair. Chitin is or chitin is another name for the bug stuff. Okay, roll me a d12.
Wait, what?
a D12 for what material, if you're looking for other material other than bug parts.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously there's plenty of those bug parts there. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So keratin is like tusk, hair, nails, horns, animal tissue. It's basically mammal. Chitin is insects and crustaceans, and yeah. So it's chitin for the ants. Keratin would be mammal. Okay. I always get those two mixed up.
I still. Why did you roll a D20 plus 12?
Because the thing is stupid. Or I may have typed the 20 and I forgot about it.
Okay, 7. Huh. Roll me a D2. Oh. Okay. Huh. Well, material that never gets used for anything, even though it's just like plantium. I have it in here somewhere. Actually, no, you just found a. No, I just realized you found that was a high. No, that's a that what you rolled a 7, so that would be actually be something else. That would be the weird funny metal that has a weird name. Why does it have 2 L's in that? You found a. Yeah, you did find that. You found a material that's like an equivalent, alternative to antimentine, but usually people have a hard time finding it because of its color. Because it's the same color and texture as stone. Only reason why it seems it's called Minulite. And it looks like it's another material that looks like stone.
Yeah, you gotta type that because I didn't know that was spelled.
I get it for you. It's kind of a very, actually, kind of a straightforward name. It's this menu and then the word light at the end. And it's and like I said, it's an alternative to antimentine, except it's a dull gray color. When it's in its raw form, but when it's refined, it looks like it looks like Quicksilver, but it's not really Quicksilver, as quote unquote mercury, but it has the same metallic sheen. If you wanted to know. But you have a good idea what its durability is. But it is the rarer of the two. Because people have a hard time finding it, spotting it. Because antimentine is actually, in my thing, is a, what color is it? It's actually a, what is it? It's like a certain color as well. Like a, I think my version of it's like a goldish color. No, mine's red. I keep forgetting on this. It's actually red versus what it usually is in Marvel, where it's silver. And also in Dwarf Fortress, it's actually there's a version of it that's actually blue. Which the blue one's actually cursed, except if you use it. Because you're a champion of Angelus. Is why. It's an Antimentine that only you can use. Or you can accidentally summon something called the Circus. It's it's the demonic circus. It's a whole bunch of very evil entities that it's the Kingdom of the Greed. You're again pretty much you get invaded by the quote unquote greed ring entities.
You're invaded by the Greeter?
Creatures
Okay.
usually. But that would be if you weren't quote unquote a champion hero or a cleric or paladin of Angelus with the blue Antimentine. But you can only find that metal near the core of the planet. The red Antimentine you can find higher up, and it's also no different than the other material other than it's red. Specifically, as in it's a blood red, if you wanted to know. Specifically, its colorization. So, but at the moment, the stuff you found is just a, I guess, looks more like the actual what it does, the other version, which is the sulfur version of Antimentine. You know, the stuff that gets put into Wolverine. Which is that, like I said, that's why there's 3 different types of Antimentine. Because there's there's silver Antimentine, there's red Antimentine, and there's blue. Insert cursed metal. Anyways, I guess you found that material. Now I need you to roll. What was your thing? Okay, now I remember. Roll me a 3d1000.
1D1000.
No, 3.
Oh. 3D1000.
That's a nice roll. That's a lot of that stuff. If you don't, well, you do have the cyanide, but if you don't find Roserect, you do have an alternative. And I think that's what's in that area. Because remember, it is a dead end. But remember, the other 2 directions have activity. There's also the directions you didn't let go, which is before that.
Yep, because I wanted to get the dead ends first.
But you do know that there's activity at this point, because it isn't much deeper underground. I think the only reason why they're not up there because there's maybe not really much food, and maybe they kind of maybe remember there's maybe something up here, but maybe some random scout might come up there, but it's maybe rare Italians. Because if you notice, they haven't been coming up here is because there's just seems to only drop off trash. Meaning they might.
Fruit.
So if you get the idea, if that is a trash area, it means they might not be going to the other 2 locations. But you can still check to see if those have any materials in them.
Yeah, I'll probably come back to them eventually.
Not the one, not where the ants are, but the one, the places, the place you didn't go at
Oh,
the beginning. Remember, there was a forward path and a right path at the
yeah.
beginning.
I plan on going to the forward path.
When you go back, if you have to, now you have to walk up all the way back up that spiral again.
Putting torches behind me and gonna go to the middle one.
Yep. Which this seems to go straight for a bit, if I remember. The other one, I think, kind of just went off some other direction. Right one did. This one looks like, if you notice, this one looks like they were gonna dig it, and then they kind of look like they abandoned it halfway. But there seems to be, I need you to roll to see what you spot. But there's a guarantee of material. This might be the reason why they stopped. But actually, there's guarantee material here because there's the reason why they stopped. And you roll me just a d4.
What? A D4? Okay.
Yeah, because it's something that it was too hard for them to bite through. Okay. So it's not. So okay. So it's not roserite. It's more likely more of the same material you found recently, that one time. Not the antimony, not the minuite, but the cyanide. It's more of it. They couldn't chew through it, so they left it there. And I need you to roll me a. This will be a 8d3000. You heard what I said, right?
No, you did. But the thing right now I'm just doing is I guess I not see any ants right now, or do I see them?
No, it seems to be a dead end. But you just found that material, but I need to either roll how much you have found.
Oh, okay. So what's the,
That's
what other roll? And I need you to type in the name. That was the other.
That it's name for what?
For the ore.
Oh right, the where is it? There it is. No, you're not. Oh, no, checking that. I just need you to roll 8d 3000. It's a large amount of it. But something tells you this actually has been here for a lot longer than you actually think it has. So no one is brave enough to dig around underneath it of the town because if you think about it, if you want to triangulate where you are, someone would more likely would. He would make a comment that this actually, the spell song would make a comment that this is somewhere off to the just outside of the town used to be underneath, and it's about barely like a mile underground. Eh,
I guess that.
I- it's a
And
8. It's a 8 3000.
that's useful. But yeah, I guess I'll just go back and walk into the last line. Which is most likely going to lead me directly to home.
I need you to roll that.
Oh, another reception. Gotcha.
No,
Oh, wait, did you ever put in the Aura's name?
no, I need you to roll the amount you found.
Wait, crap.
It's 8. There we go. It's 8, not 9.
Oh. Just take out.
No, re-roll that. Sorry. You also got a little. Whatever. Okay, I did grab what I needed for it, but this is the name of it.
Gotcha. Well, since this one led to dead end, and I somehow didn't run into other ants.
I
Did
guess
a
you have to try.
colony. Yay!
So you're not to go going the right.
Yep.
'Cause remember, you know where the colony is. It's the other direction. You just didn't want to deal with ants. Right,
Oh yeah, that's true.
because remember, you haven't been to the right up in this area yet either.
Yep. So, where does this one lead to?
This does go a little bit deeper, and then it eventually stops into a dead end as well.
The deeper it is, means the more fun for me. What do I find? 29. So,
It's another D4.
a 1.
Oh, oh, it's this. So it's just, it's just.
It's a little.
Oh, it's just that's. So you just found Antimentine.
Ooh, yeah.
So the the red. Since you rolled so well, we got a decently sized blob. Anyways, let's see. Dang, that's going to be a lot of Antimentine. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. Antimentine.
Most likely, yes.
And that's the right. We already know what Antimentine is, but it's Antimentine. It's just red.
That's a lot of animals on.
Too bad. That's a good haul. Chaos. He's like, at least you have material. Just before going deeper underground, like 2 decent orb veins, and also
Okay.
some tin for whatever you
Well,
want
this
to.
pathway is completely cleaned out. Time to go back and see if I can find another way before I go toward the colony.
Well, the only 2 directions that can go anywhere are the ones you heard activity.
Yep. Let's go.
The one that seems to have the least amount of activity is actually to the right down at where that spiral area where it split off. It seems to be more noisy deeper down. if you continue down the spiral. You know, the spiraling tunnel. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think it's a similar symbol. It's, I guess, a roll again or no? Or did he not see me yet?
Let's see. No, I don't think that you got to the point where they will be noticed yet, or area where you noticed or you would see them. But you do sense that you're getting close to them because of your obviously certain other senses.
Yeah.
But-
Especially the tremor
but-
sense. Okay, then I'm just gonna go ahead and roll another perception then. 26. So what did the roll? Gabriel?
One second. Okay. You don't. So are you looking for material, or are you actually doing something else?
Material.
Okay. Okay. That would be a D12.
It's a 8.
You found something a little bit more rare, so you have a higher chance to get more of this iodite and some other material that's around the same rarity. So let me see. Actually, that would be D. Yeah, it would be a D2 at D4 again. No, it was a 3. Now I remember that I had to roll.
A 1d3 or 1d4?
1D3. Now I remembered. Roll
3.
back. Oh. Okay. I need to go look at something for a second. Oh, you got the same stuff. More than because I keep on forgetting it's the rarer of the 3 materials.
I got more what?
More, you found more of it.
Of what?
Of the cyanide.
Oh.
You keep finding that shit.
I do so.
It's not roserite, but it's better than nothing. You just need to find.
I'm gonna go down deeper.
I just need you to roll a 2D D1000. Okay. At least you have some something. Only if you can find a way to get mithril.
True.
Only as you get deeper, you are getting closer to the sound. You know the sound of like digging or something trying to dig? That's what you are hearing. More clear. So they're digging. Sounds like they're digging something. And also, you do certainly have you know that sense of knowing you're up top, where you know you can smell a harrow fruit, one of the harrow fruits up top. One of the bushes are possibly might be up there somewhere. In other words, you can smell outside. So this is another tunnel that seems to go up top somewhere. in a different area.
Wait, they have
Actually,
another exit point to this site? I mean, that does make sense. They are ants.
and actually, let you know. Remember that large lake that's somewhere near us?
Yeah.
That's where they're coming up out of, because the lake is no more, because it's sand. But the harrow fruit seems to be growing on top of it. And that's
So
where
you're
they're coming from.
saying is that that pathway literally leads to
Where
the
a lake used to be.
new river.
No, the lake that used to have too many fish in it.
Oh yeah, that.
But I bet the bottom of that area has a lot of bone meal. Or a lot of calcium deposit underneath it. Because of the fucking fish that used to be in it. So this is one of their other more active exit points, it seems. But you haven't seen anything come back, so they might have a loop tunnel that seems to go into a different area, through a different area, almost like they don't go this way, or they just use whatever the fastest way they get to a different location. So as you do get closer, they are to the point where you can kind of see them, but I couldn't find what they would look like, but it keeps on giving me ants that can withstand the sort of stuff. I was surprised that these guys, lucky they can't stab you, but I just realized they're just overglorified fire ants.
Hmm.
That's their species. They're based off of. So they're going to be voracious and obnoxious, like how fire ants normally are, if you know what I mean.
True. Trying to
If
test
it's
all
what
my new demonic abilities, huh?
you mean, chaotic.
I am.
It's just, they're distracted by going back through a
Obviously
area.
turning into a full archfiend.
Remember, someone may have removed the demonic stuff completely.
Oh, completely. That
And
part
made
I
it,
did.
yeah, and added mostly chaotic energy.
Aw, that means I don't have to
Um,
train somewhere. Well, that's fine.
but you have the mismatched parts and stuff. Like, um,
Yeah, I know. Dang, I thought I could make an ant army. Oh well.
doesn't mean you can't chaotically do something, because chaos is still interesting, but you don't know what level, how much he has gave you, because you never know. You can be just as powerfully chaotic. It could be very barely anything, or you can be almost close to the level of freaking Discord. From MLT. You don't know. You need to know what he's capable to do. If you know the cartoon DJ.
I don't. I guess he'll try to activate to see what his new energy is.
He gets this kind of like he just activating it kind of on his hands, right?
Yeah.
It seems to be a black material that seems to has stars, but they're chaotic different colors.
Hmm. I guess he'll just chuck at it then.
Let's see. Where are you gonna roll to hit?
I know the roll to hits usually your dex or spellcasting modifier, which is usually your dex either way when it comes to ranged attack. In this standpoint, because I think it adds like what was that stupid thing? Produce flame.
Which is only gonna be 30.
Oh, I almost got that 20 out of that.
Okay. Let's see. Does it do? It's a weird energy. Because I do know what the element's supposed to be equivalent of. It's supposed to be kind of like necrotic, but not at the same time. It has another trait on top of it. You know how Reishi is radiant ice? This is like a chaos is like a necrotic and fire and acid all at once. DJ.
Wait, what at once?
It's equivalent of having chaotic energy. If it's a normal creature, it will ignore the resistance and immunities of towards anything that's immune or resistant to necrotic, acid/poison, and fire. If you want to know. That's what it does, if you wanted to know. That's what chaos. Pretty much something someone could do, but he hasn't done anything with it. Casually stares at Catbox.
What? I can do what?
Yes, there's a. If you want to know the property of chaos, like elements is.
I mean, I think Alrix either doesn't know he can do that or doesn't care to try.
I know.
Meanwhile, meanwhile, on the Secret City universe, meanwhile, me trying to figure out how to make someone spontaneously combust with thaumaturgy. Like a big bloody meat balloon.
Meanwhile, generally, and like, so, but it is, I think the damage isn't the damage like I think it's a D6 plus whatever your spell casting, normal spell casting modifier would be. DJ?
I just don't know what I'm supposed to roll on damage wise.
It's a D6 plus whatever your what is. Wait, what level are you? What is? I'm gonna look up produce flame for a second. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's fine.
6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's funny that I mean, yeah, it doesn't catch him.
So whatever your spell casting modifier will be attached to it. That's what would be your damage. But let me do some other calculations. I do know that would actually do damage to that thing because I know the creature itself would be resistant to acid, but it would have actually ignored that and poison. But that's the thing. Let's see. Some calculations. So what's your regular modifier without proficiency again?
Wait, for which modifier?
Regular spell casting modifier.
If I remember correctly, mine's is mixed. So wasn't it Dex and Wisdom? No, Wisdom and Charisma. There we go. 16.
Okay. So it would be.
Because my Wisdom and Charisma are not high enough. They were never high enough to begin with, so but there's that.
So 22. So it would be 22 damage.
22 damage.
Chaos
Okay.
damage. Let's see.
So I just threw a Chaos Flame at something.
Yeah, it's like it's Chaos Flame. Is what it is.
I'm just gonna
Chaos.
call it Chaos Bolt for now, because wait, my brain to work.
Yeah, but it's not a normal bolt. If you did a proper flopper or fire bolt, it would actually be a D10, but you actually just did a produce flame and you yeeted it at it. That's why it's a D6.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's weaker. But if you actually did that's why, if you just flicked a produce flame, no, it's a produce chaos flame. That's what it would be.
Yeah, I already typed that as a name. I don't know, I was not that creative, so I was just like, produce Chaos Flame.
It's pretty much what it is. It's just literally, you just add chaos. Anyways, and let's see. I need to do something. Also, this has the chance to cause madness, which I have not implemented that, but I'm gonna know it anyways. Because I haven't figured out how to actually implement that yet. Which someone kind of has done that on his own, as in DJ.
More than likely.
Yeah, yourself. But I have never figured out how to calculate that. There's a way to do it.
I mean, you could take
Man.
inspiration from like the Call of Cthulhu board games, how they do chaos.
I know, but that's what it usually attacks. It actually attacks your sanity.
Mm.
But this is a creature. But
Usually if I just do anything with chaos, I would just put in a certain damage type.
it is a damage type.
And for each different type of element, or certain elements
No.
that match chaos, because that's what chaos damage usually is in like some games. Like
Yeah, but
some
it
games have fire and ice and dark.
yeah, but it does still actually do what it does. But it's fine. It also does do things to it. But I'm just trying to figure out if it needs to do something. Now it's an ant. But it can't. Well, it could. Actually, interesting. Doesn't matter how high your intelligence is. You can still go insane.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think. Oh, wasn't there a thing? I remember
Even though
reading.
remember, it's a bigger creature than normal. Even though its size, you would not have one shot it, but you would have heard it a lot. But now the one that you hit has a bout of like, I would classify it kind of like confusion, but a normal aggression, where it has like quote unquote. You know how something would have some sort of parasite that causes it to mind control it, or like behavior, where it's unintentionally. You have no control of the damn thing because it's insane and it's attacking the closest. Dropped whatever it had in its mouth, which more like it was a clump of dirt, and started attacking one of its own.
Nice, I made a rabbit. Nice.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
not
much.
hostile towards me.
Well, no, it's hostile to everyone.
Oh, so yeah, it's just enraged. I can make
Yes.
berserk.
Well,
Yeah,
just
That's so broken in war games because I remember there was a strategy to where they would just take your strongest DPSs and just cause them just to kill your own army. That was fun.
That's pretty
Because
much
they
what
would
it
attack
is.
anyone that's nearby, and you have a doom stack, and it's just like,
I do know what the stats that Power Madness is. It is related. The resistance is related to your. It's related to your related to your charisma affects it usually, and also because that's why it's really heavily charisma related. Chaos
Huh.
because
yeah,
and,
you should
and,
do
and
that,
its
yeah.
and its counter is intelligence and wisdom.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, you can encounter chaos magic with intelligence. Interesting.
And wisdom. Because the saves are related to it. Because remember, chaos is kind of illusionary as well, if you remember.
Well, if you remember, chaos harmony is connected with technically with logic, and chaos is not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because chaos is when shit that shouldn't happen happens.
Yes. And that's why it's pretty much a form of magic deception. But the effect can wear off though. Matters related to the quote unquote if they can pass the fucking intelligence save. But this thing might not be able to because it's a fucking ant. Yeah. It's just going on a rampage. Have fun. It's not entertaining. Anyways. Because I know I would have not passed it anyways because it's related to doesn't you have a decently high modifier?
Yes, I
TJ?
do.
So that's why. I didn't able to save. That poor ant. Because it's an ant. Even though it's bigger than normal, it still just has intelligence of enough to decently function. Even though an ant wouldn't be, just I would classify ants, even though they're mostly, it's purely instinctual on how they actually behave, if you remember. But they can still actually be affected by madness. So, well, that ant is just going to chew up, attack everything till, and let's see. So what else are you going to do? Are you just going to pull out popcorn and watch? Anyway. Or are you going to do something else? Why don't you cause
I'm going to
chaos?
look at the materials as they just attack each other.
And they're all trying to, because they're also resistant to their thing that they do. You know, the poisoning.
Yeah,
Like,
I just got a nat 20 looking for ores. Okay.
okay, then you just roll me a d4.
1 second. A D4, right?
Yep, means it'll be something rare.
Yep.
There's actually very, very rare items. There's 4 things. I got 3. Oh, okay.
Sadly.
Oh. I thought you would get something rare. There's actually stuff rarer than roserite, which,
I know.
but that's not roserite though. Roserite would have been a 2. Let's see. What is this? Oh, you found Limus.
Even though I can't spell it, but thanks.
Not.
Oh,
I'm actually gonna find.
I've only missed
I will.
one, and I'm trying to
See if I can.
get that way. My
Oh, I did I put it
that
on?
I have
Oh yeah, does that also mean by I became more proficient with perception?
for Sunday.
Yeah. I forgot to put that word in here. I guess I didn't. I didn't do my list right. I'm still updating that.
I forgot how it was supposed to go. It was supposed to be
Here's the name of
unknown.
it.
It was
It's liter-
unskilled, skilled, and half skilled. Some half proficient. No, I'm already fully proficient.
So
But
you're
not fully. Some
not
half.
expertise. So you or the first number three. You got a 3 instead. Like modifier, proficiency modifier with it.
Okay.
There's your spelling.
Next.
So, and I need you to roll. This usually doesn't give a spell. Doesn't have as big of a deposit usually, but it's let's see. But this time I think because you have got a decent roll, it would be a 3. It's a 3D 2000. Okay.
2000. Nice.
That's not too bad. Which is a decent metal. You actually need that for something. But that is another. That one actually has another alloy that actually needs something, but it's mostly for.
Hold on, I need to get me some. I need to get me a drink because the heat is trying to kill me. Like it killed me earlier with Frumpy.
Did someone turn something off again? You
Yep,
should check to see if that's off.
it's off, and I was not noticing. So I'll be right back.
Uh-huh.
And it gave me some popsicles and something that could counter the heat.
Anyways, I guess we'll put a little around to whatever Mudjaw's doing it. There. Or do it to throw hands.
Might
Oh.
have to throw hands.
As you're inserting traveling music, and also, and the reason why I haven't gone back to because I did roll to see if you got an encounter. You didn't get anything.
Yeah, of course.
The only thing during your trip, what's this thing? I do know. Ernest did go with you guys. He says I need to be right back because I need to go do something. It might be a while before I return, as he says to him before he teleports away.
Oh dear.
He says to what's his face?
Oh,
Elric
okay.
halfway through the trip.
So about where they are now.
On the map, I think.
That's about halfway through where they are now.
Yeah. If I can look at this properly. I can not find. Almost. Partially over to
I'm
the.
doing what I can right now.
Before they get to the destiny, because I said we were waiting a little bit. That's why I said eventually he will kind of. Like I said, he left. He said he needs to go do certain things. Might be a while before he returns.
How long is a while?
But it seems like he's already gone.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. He's like, bye, bitch. Peace out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a while. Goodbye. It's like, how long are you gonna be gone for? And he's gone.
It's like the cat is going outside.
No, whatever. You know, gods be gods. Whatever he does is none of my concern. Fern.
He's like, it's not like I wanted you to stay or anything, Baka. For those who don't know, Baka means idiot.
He really is a big dummy dumb.
Well,
Made his big
well,
daft.
you do have. I know that I don't know. He seemed to be oddly distant during the trip.
Hmm. Well,
Like something was bugging him.
It's like from unknown to Alex. He's like, it's not you, but it's totally you. Type situation.
yeah. So that, I mean, this is all he's gonna be doing is just like waiting in the carriage till they get there.
Generally, and Anyways, meanwhile, even though things are happening, it's supposed to be frozen but not frozen because of comical reasons.
And like meanwhile Gilbo's like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, hey, he's like, hey, we started making like the big portal spire things yet?
Insert Engel is like, just like, he could sense that someone's upset they left.
Upset Engel is upset. It's like the girlfriend yelling at the guy who plays Dean. She's like, stop trying to seduce dragons. They're not real.
I roll and seduce the dragon. But I have a 20 charisma. What am I supposed to do with a 20 charisma if I have it? What else am I supposed to do with it?
There's a video I want to quote when a bard does that, where it's like, hey, congratulations, you pissed off the dungeon master. Now you're stuck there in this dragon horde forever.
Congratulations.
Oh, you think the party will come back and save you? Bitch, you willingly participated in this. They ain't gonna save your ass.
Congratulations. You have successfully seduced the dragon. You've now been put into the dragon's jar.
Exactly. It's like a pony jar, but for people. I bet I made DJ cringe by mentioning that.
What I actually want to know, lore-wise, silver dragons actually like collecting individuals that are useful to them.
Cool.
If you did not know that.
I knew that.
So,
I knew
and
that.
also-
I know that iron dragons are a bit crazy.
similar. And then the steel ones just hide among people.
Because I think the iron dragons, there's like only like one actual ancient iron dragon, but like every time one of them gets his age, he just possesses them when he dies. I don't remember all the details. Something about soul magic.
But you know what I mean by the steel ones, they just hide among humans
Yeah.
and people. So you don't know if they're actually there or not.
Could you imagine that you sleep with this really pretty lady, seeming lady, and then she unpolymorphs and you realize she's fucking steel dragon?
But they're not people, though. Metallic dragons are actually usually good alliance.
Well, I mean, unless it's like the Iron Dragon, because I think they're just neutral. I think Iron Dragons are just neutral.
Yeah, but I do know the one dragons are usually good, and the steel ones are good. Usually, on average, good or neutral. Or in a rare occasion, lawful neutral.
Now, what's funny though is when you eventually get to some of the chromatic dragons, because red dragons are like the easiest to seduce, mainly because all you gotta do is bring them a giant pile of shiny shit.
Because their mental mentality is equivalent to your traditional dragon. They behave like your typical dragon. In lore.
Yep.
The red dragon is pretty much similar to your iconic dragon. Mythology.
Oh yeah. Whether like I'll torture your village, I'll eat your cows, and then I'll eat you.
And then plop a whole bunch of golden diamonds on them. Never mind. I happily take that instead.
And it's like, never mind. Have a nice day. He zooms off on the pile of skeletons. Oh wait, no, they don't leave skeletons. Never mind. To imply skeletons means the corpses actually survive the blaze.
So at the moment, not much interesting going on with your travel, but as Gilbert at the moment, you could kind of sense someone's kind of upset spaghetti about something.
And Gilbert's like, what? And Gilbert's like, look at your face, spaghetti. They just want to leave. You sent me up the rest of my stuff.
What's in weirder? They're in a different, somewhere completely different from where they originally were.
He's like, what do you mean, Gilbert's, what do you mean?
It's complicated.
It's another timeline.
The actual primary timeline, not like what these silly trees have.
He's like, which one?
A primary one.
Damn it. Damn it, I want to go, but I don't have my shit.
And I'm stuck here by myself. YouTuber. Anyways.
And she's like, this is fucking Jonas' fault.
Awesome. Even if I'm not over there, I learned who the admin was.
And it would be funny. It'd be funny if Jabba was like, wait a minute, I want to go back over there for a bit. Check on some people.
No, it was just a very, 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 very angry. I can't remember. Do you remember that one guy that was connected to purging?
Gilbert was like, was that Yuri? Or was it another name?
They keep changing their name.
I think at one point they called him, didn't they call him Yuri at one point?
Yuri, then they call him, and I think they were called, I think his name is, sorry, it's been a while, I don't remember the other name too well.
He's like, I always called him Yuri for a while.
That's his newest name. But then,
What if they? But what if they actually just? But what if they still kept that name?
yeah, but I do. So the one individual caused the rampage, it was actually himself.
What?
As someone
Just
he,
Jackie
he,
Chan, what the fuck face? It's like
uh, it's because not because well I had to have certain reasons. Well, several people caused one of his own pieces to kind of be desynced from himself.
and meanwhile, Ultima somewhere else is like my ears are burning, but it wasn't me. Nobody
Yeah.
gave me all of the information. Especially, it's not my fault. I didn't know there was any sadness in there. I thought it was just anger. So I thought, okay, I'll let him hit me with everything he's got. That helped with my brother. It should help you there, but it didn't.
Insert. And then everything, then because not all the anger was completely vented off, this is some reason it manifested into the other individual, and eventually to the point they caused the actual individual, the primary, or the individual to come out, his main self to come out.
Wait, so let me guess. Was actually Yuri was that Yuri holding back because he didn't want to just actually kill Ultima?
Yeah. That's actually, that was only 5% of them. Like, no, that was 1% of them.
And meanwhile, Ultima and the other one's like, I would have been obliterated. Oh no. So then Yuri would have felt really bad about it. And went mad from grief and killed everybody.
Hold on, give me headphones.
Insert random shit, like that's going on, chaos in the background. But insert chaos here.
What's up?
Hi. Generally doing little things in the background of what's going on. Certain people just.
And Gilbert's like, speaking of which, she'll cover her husband. And she's like, did we get the gateway to cross the sea open yet?
A gateway to.
She's like, and she explains that she's trying that they kind of went away from where the general area where the king is, and now if they want to do trade or whatever or establish trade or whatever, they'd have to go talk to the king, and the king's way over there. But she doesn't want to have to fly across the sea again.
Also, Ingo makes a comment. You could have just waited. He would have sent an invoice. He would have gave you that land as your own.
And she's like, I know, but I had to make sure it was safe first. We didn't know if there was anything over there. And he's like, for all we know, there could have been big, angry, molesting sand monsters, for all we know.
No, not you coming here. The over there. Because he has people are underestimating what people misunderstand why they did that limitation.
And there was like, and besides, it's hotter over here than it is over there.
But it's easier to grow food.
And she's like, not really. We would just grab some rabbits, squeeze the poo out of them, and then use them, and then use the or something, and then squeeze the poo out of them, and use the poo to freaking grow crops. There we go. Problem solved.
Yeah, but we don't have fruit.
It's what?
Fruit don't grow here.
It's like, damn it.
Unless we put them in those things. But we only have so much space in those things. He's referring to the greenhouse things that he has. That they have to constantly mill.
Needs more room, needs more height, needs more levels.
That's why he's just building out what they could. They build it out as far as they need to, then build up to a certain point, then he builds out more. That's what he's slowly doing.
We're making an orchard indoors.
As the trees can only be so tall, and there's some trees can't actually be inside. You're too tall. That's why he can't grow everything.
That is fine. And she's like, if we can't grow them above ground, couldn't we just make a big ass space below ground with radiant magic?
Not everything can. No, some things actually need to be up here. But sadly, we can't grow those either because the area likes to get smacked with sand.
We're gonna have to go talk with the king.
We do have a vehicle, because they did. We don't have a vehicle, though, or anything. We only have normal things that pull them.
She's like, the flying is so slow. And even if I teleported at intervals, it would still take me forever.
But
it's like, well,
if we move here to back over there with the pulled vehicles we have, it'll take about. It will actually be faster because we actually have a proper road. But it's still not much faster, but it will be still faster than walking on sand.
And she's like, or, hear me out. I fly up, go to one of the neighboring moons, wait for it to orbit to strike, and then since I would slow myself down, I just fall out of the sky like a damn comet at thousands of miles an hour. That would be faster.
Actually, no. That won't be.
What do you mean?
How would you get yourself to stop?
Simple. Just my ability to fly to slow myself down.
No, you would have to do a dexterity save to stop. Yeah, character.
Maybe I'll just ride the lightning.
No. Insert armor would kinda. Actually, no, you would incapacitate yourself.
I mean, I still get found. They're like, there, this goblin just like power bomb through the roof. She's like, I'm sorry. He's trying to get your basket. Couldn't slow down though on re-entry.
You can try. Doesn't mean it's gonna work. You can still try. There is a single, and there's only, I think this planet has like, I don't remember how many planets this moon has. I don't remember my fucking calendar.
I'm moon surfing. Yeah. I will smash down somewhere, damn it. And I'll keep smashing down until I land in the right damn place. Or you know what? Even a better plan.
Oh, there it is. There.
Gilbo's like, we need a plane. Where's a plane?
I need to plug in my headphones.
Oh dear.
I can tell you.
Oh my! You gotta admit though, my idea was pretty fucking crazy. The asteroid impact plan. This is like. It's a rocket goblin.
Fun with that one.
Nah, because I know it won't work.
It won't kill you. It'll make you go unconscious, though.
I know. But I'd much rather go unconscious landing in front of the king than, like, just go unconscious in the ocean because of the sea creatures.
You still, like I said, you have to triangulate. You have to wait till it's a certain time of the where the moon is for it to actually to do that, and you also need to make sure the trajectory will let you actually land because it won't be perfect though.
Right.
So
I mean, the worst thing that happens is if I smash down in town square and accidentally squish somebody. I'd be like, oops. My bad. Look at that, how that happened. Gilbo then looks at her husband. She's like, wait, I've got a better idea.
The armor you're wearing will just incapacitate you.
I know, but Gilbo's like, wait, I have an even better idea. She's like, we could build a mage crystal airplane.
You're already making a. You don't. He was thinking for a second. We need to make. How would we land it?
She's like, it's not landing. That's the point. It's just crossing the sea. Afterwards, we can just pick it the fuck up, carry it to where it takes off again, and just take off.
No, I was referring.
It's not about landing. It's not necessarily about how we land it.
I just realized we can land on the road.
And she's like, yeah, we'd get there in what, a few hours?
Still needs something to take off that's more smooth over here, though.
She's like, what can people use mage crystal to make the runway? Yeah. Or is it too slippery?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
She's like, how long is that going to take?
If you don't hit any weird weather. Anyways. It matters by the weather.
And she's like, all right, well, I guess we got a new construction plan that we're sanctioned with the city. We're just gonna fucking build the runway, and then we're just gonna build a plane, and then we're just gonna fly the fuck over there. I don't care if we crash. Yeah. He's like, we can always put it back. We can always put it back together. Yeah.
Mm. Well, if we do crash, we just hope we crash into something that won't break the thing, which is like a tree or the ground.
She's like, you realize how hard you'd have to hit the ground to actually break Mage Crystal? Yeah. Mm. Especially if it's your crystal.
I just hope I didn't. I realized
I don't think.
last time I don't think I ever taught you how to fly the thing last time, because last time you tried flying my plane, it didn't go very well.
And she's like, give me the stick, coach. I don't care if we crash. The point is that we get there, and then we just pop a wheel back on, and then just afterwards, and fly back. Because this place.
We crashed. You
shit.
flipped us upside down and crashed while we were still on the runway.
And she's like, don't worry. She's like, fine, I'll let you fly. This time. She's like, but I'm flying on the way back. It's how to fly planes. Looks at the manual. The manual is how to fly planes for dummies.
They just pulling it up from their special phone because they can do that. Just remember,
like, how to make your. She then looks up how to make your husband smile for dummies. Followed by how to skin animals for dummies.
Remember, if you are reading those, you still need to roll intelligence to see if you can learn it. Remember, you're not proficient.
I'm just making a joke that's kind of shit. I know that she would eventually read if she realizes she has the options.
She does, because of that phone.
Yes,
she's just not aware of it.
Yet. She's not aware of it. Because no one has brought it up to her.
Yeah, because they are not aware they have a certain technology as well. Because their phones certain phones got attuned and changed data-wise. If they have divine given phones, they usually get updated because they're updated. Because remember, these phones, I think yours was given to you by literally, because no one knows who's making them, because they just get made, because it's a divine phone.
And Gilboa's she's opens her phone. She's like, I doubt this will work. Tries to see if she can order pizza or anything. On her phone. Fez?
Well, it says there's no place with pizza close to her.
She shows it to her husband. He's like, we could technically order pizza, but there's nowhere close.
Just funny. It's just indication because they don't have space travel.
She's like, she's like, we don't have space travel, then I'll invent space travel.
Sorry, there's no space Uber.
She's gonna look for her husband, and she's like, you know what? Why don't we just build a fucking very, very basic tradecraft.
Dennis makes a comment. I'm sorry, I don't think they're space Uber. Well, not yet.
It's like, if there's not space Uber, we'll become the space Uber.
And we do that last time.
It's like, yes.
You actually kind of just sponsor like a taxi service, and I did the other stuff.
What do you mean?
It's been a while. That's what I remember what we did.
Even asks, meanwhile Gibble asks and goes, by the way, did my sandwich shop survive?
Yeah.
She's like,
But there's a giant ant tunnel in the middle of the town.
Fuck yes, my sandwich shop survived. And now I'm on this stage, we're probably fucking having an explosion. Eat shit, dog.
At least it'll be hot and dry and toasty.
Look how I like my sandwiches used to be. Well, except for the dry part. My sandwiches were moist.
Anyways,
moist.
I'm gonna throw you into the trash. Anyway. Meanwhile, but I do know one thing.
But Gil was like, yeah, I guess we should do that. We should probably just make a basic trading spaceship or something. Like very, very basic. It's like, how long?
If we let's just make a vehicle that can fly in general. That's maybe space worthy.
Yeah.
No.
Like a basic one, I'm guessing. For right now.
Because I'm kind of curious, because I do have a theory. I do know where the secondary planet is. They're not very far away. You know, the one where everyone else, others at a civilization that we got separated from.
She's like, we could have. Yes, but I think we should have used it to visit the king first, and so we could get that out of the way, and then afterwards we can go over there and do that. She's like, I also want to make sure the Sea of Evelyn's doing okay. Because I'm kind of not happy that, well, they kind of just didn't do anything with them. He deserved better, damn it.
Someone did do something, but nobody knows what Yuri did.
Is he stuck over on the one planet? Did those bastards just leave him over there on a planet with practically nothing on the surface except for
from the relay from of someone constantly going back and forth to him, because he can teleport to him, is K's. He's has discovered a whole bunch of metals underground where that ant tunnel was.
Yes, but the problem is, I think the only food sources that are probably over there is the held fruit, And probably bugs. Yeah, they're probably the only two fucking things persistent enough to survive in that shithole that was left behind.
Also, from my knowledge, also of that world, there's also desert-dwelling creatures. All of them. Anything that can survive in a desert is on that planet. Which includes Diablos and or all the desert-dwelling creatures.
It's like, yeah, but I've tried that meat before and it doesn't taste very good.
It's just 70% of the planet seems to be desert. There's still some water areas that still have some lush areas, but not very many. But I do know there is civilization still on that world.
What do you mean? How is anything alive over there?
If you forgot the Skaven individual, there's these rat individuals that reside they're always lived in the desert.
She's Jackie Chan. What the fuck face again? She's like, what the fuck?
Yes, they're used to that environment, being a harsh environment. They are, remember, they're native of the Painted Desert. You know, the place with the giant motherfucking monsters.
Yes.
And giant worms and giant things that want to eat your face. And
yes,
also,
the one.
and the thing that incapacitated Evelyn once.
And she's like, oh yeah, that big fucking worm that screamed and knocked him unconscious.
I think they'll be fine.
And she's like, oh dear. She's like, well, how long would it take? And Gil was like, so how long would it take to get the craft actually made?
Well, you still need to make something so it's easy to take off with. So this isn't take a bit.
I mean, so we just make a pad the thing sits on and picks up from.
I know.
It doesn't need a runway. It can just go straight up.
I know. It still needs a location, which at least we don't need as much mage crystal for that. But we still need to make a vehicle.
Let me guess, a couple of days.
That one's a little more iterative. It's going to take a lot longer. Because we need to make sure we have all the right gemstones and that stuff for the...
oh, great. A week?
And make sure we have all the things to make it and make sure it's, and also we have to test its gravity field inside of it, and also make sure it makes a perfect environment to quote unquote that stuff.
So what, 2 weeks?
And also we have to test it. I'll be able to also going to have to test to see if it can be underwater.
3 weeks.
Yep. There's a reason why we always make our spaceships be able to be underwater as well up in the air, because of obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, because you never know who you might want to trade with.
And also, it's mostly for pressure reasons. Because underwater's like going in vacuum space, but not really.
It's like going in the reverse of space.
It's just the weight is a whole bunch of shit of fucking water. It's just have to, because we need to make sure we have the because there is a certain weight ratio of crystal thickness that also has issues on how much pressure and vacuum it can handle. Because I need to make sure we have the proper ratio, or it'll just turn in, or it'll implode. The other one will explode. Because if it implodes, remember, that's what it'll do in the quote unquote in the ocean. It'll explode in space. So that's going to be our agenda for that one.
It was like, that's going to take forever.
You know, I know, but we want to make sure it's perfect, or so we don't die. Well, individuals that we bring with us that are going to be helping with trade, carrying resources. Because we do have stuff, we have a lot, because we have a lot of stuff that they could actually use that I have found. Because we remember that hole in the ground that we meant by mining, we managed to get that up and running. But sadly, they're only finding that a magic version of tungsten.
Look, I mean, anything's better than nothing.
That's pretty much what they have been finding in there. It seems like it's very common in this area. But that's about it. Generally that. And I tell you're not, and then I'm going to check to see if Alex gets an encounter. I take that, and that's a no. No, you don't get an encounter.
I just seem to have really good luck, apparently.
Yes, but your divine has not returned yet.
Well, Alex kind of took like, oh, he's gonna be gone for a while as like a few days, like. It was like, oh, he's gonna be gone for a few. He's gonna be gone for a while. Won't see him for a few days.
It might be divine stuff.
Anyways, it's probably getting to about evening now for him, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think you're getting decently close. Remember, this planet is much not. It's still decently sized, but still, it's gonna not take you as long.
It's probably about a day
somewhere
out now.
From the location.
Mm-hmm.
To this one area.
Yeah, because each one of these squares is a day of travel.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be funny if meanwhile, like, Galru eventually, like, comes over in the background and she's like, oh, hey, Ingo, how are you doing? Yeah.
Anyways.
She's like, sorry I left. Let me guess, I'm guessing the attractive fox boy hasn't, done anything yet. She blushes when she realizes what she says. I didn't say anything. She blushes. She's like looking away. They're like,
at the moment. Well, nothing really exciting too much, other than slowly things are just improving around, and Evelyn is having weird caused a ant to have madness.
They're always like, wait, Evelyn's awake? How long is this happening?
But he seems to be, he doesn't have any demonic energy. He seems to be mostly infused with chaotic energy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fascinating. Which is interesting. I have no idea. So, the only theory I can think of that Yuri may have infused him with a whole bunch of chaotic energy.
And Galby's like, must be kind of lonely over there. Yeah.
He's by himself. He does have Hayes checking on him.
Look, I might check up on him too. I mean, he was with Angelus. He is technically my brother-in-law.
But he doesn't know you.
Look, I guess I could go introduce myself.
He might not be a good idea, because remember, he's the one that isn't stable.
He's like,
I don't know if he's in stabilized or not. Because that his the way he is at the moment, nobody knows. Except one, which is the interesting thing. Except somebody. And himself. And it's also best to be patient dealing with that at the moment.
Really? Well, I mean, I could always just quickly leave him some cookies or something. I mean, I don't exactly have to physically interact with him right now. Yeah.
He doesn't really have a structure, though, that's intact, up to intact right now.
You know what? Maybe
Other than Dildo Sandwich Shop.
You know what? Maybe I should check up on him because
He's deep under, but he's deep underground in an ant thing.
And she's like,
He's still eating stuff.
Right. She's like, maybe I could. He's like, no. Can't prank the dog right now. He's like, He's like, well, mate, yeah.
No.
He's like, oh, okay. I was just gonna have a little fly going in his ear and make a fart noise.
No. Just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Don't need to poke at him. Anyways.
Dad was like, you know what, fuck it.
Huh?
She's like, I can at least leave a box of cookies outside in a box outside of the hole. It's the least I can do.
If he comes up, back up.
If he wants to or not, that's completely up to him. Now my problem with the ants somehow eat the cookies. So at least I tried. He's like, and if the ants eat cookies, I wonder if they would like milk too. Oh no, Dowie's getting ideas.
Stop feeding the ants that he's trying to get rid of.
She's like, exactly. If you feed ants, they'll go. If you lead a cookie trail, a food trail for ants that goes off into the distance, they won't come back.
But that hole is into the area where he's trying to build a town.
She's like, It would lead Cookie Crumbs away from the town.
Yeah, but they have a queen.
It's like, the queen. And then she's like, he goes, the queen. She's like, I wonder if Evelyn needs a big can of Raid.
Also, they're also giant red ants. Remember, it's the fire
She's
ants.
like, huh.
So they're the least pleasant kind.
I
Well,
know
if
how to
you are,
kill ants. She's like, I know how to kill ants. Cornbread. It'll make their stomachs explode.
I don't think they're not small. They're a large creature.
Then I need a large loaf. Expando, expando. Just go rupture their stomachs and dissolve them from the inside.
And you'll just
She's
like,
but the problem is supplying Evelyn with enough cornbread. Could I do it? But could I do it?
like, and you can feel the face palm from here.
Wait, what?
Somebody, and you'll just like the face palms. You'll can spill her. You're like, oh,
Well, I gotta remember, Dobby is also somewhat chaotic, and this would be very chaotic to just dump a whole bunch of cornbread down into the anthole.
but she's not harmonic or anything. She's just her. She's a nature. She's a nature individual connected to Eldridge, so that's kind of chaos, but in its own right. So it's just related
And
to.
Dobby's like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun."
Oh no! He's like,
She teleports. She's like, "Ah!"
I'll get back over there in a minute. Out of character.
I know. Still.
But, insert. Oh, well, this is going to be interesting. Insert chaos. DJ's still there.
Chaos time. DJ, you still there? Damn it.
Or did the heat make him go unconscious?
DJ.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I literally said something earlier.
Okay.
Chaos is coming, DJ. Chaos is coming, and it's the good kind.
Are you sure it's a good guy? Or is it just going to be a... I don't know, because you don't know the person, you don't know the character. That's why. Because this one does not. Know this individual. And also, they look like a fucking rope.
With a mask, yeah.
So they're even weirder looking. So I don't know how this encounter is going to go. And remember, he's underground dealing with ants.
The answer, but like, that's Rope. What the fuck is Rope doing here? And since fire ants are carnivorous, I'm not gonna bother with her. Because I remember reading about that fire ants are specifically carnivores.
But they like sugar.
They might what?
They do like sugar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but that means they're going to die from the cornbread because there is sugar in there. Because there's... Only problem is when the cornmeal gets inside their stomachs, it's gonna expand tenfold. Which is what's gonna cause their stomachs to explode. Mm.
If you can get enough of it. But anyways, if you can get someone, especially like I said, you can't just go straight to where he is because it will cause a disruption whether he's going. So you're more likely
I know.
to go up top.
She's just occurring up top, yeah.
Where you
And she's
see
like-
someone twiddling, you see what's his like, kind of just twiddling around with just making notes and random stuff that one Matt Fallon.
And was like, all right, I guess I have to go to time to go to my other form. She goes to the public store form.
That's recommended because you don't.
Yeah.
Jesus, because I think the rope would freak him out. That's what Kay says to her.
And she's like, all right, let's see, how much cornbread do I have in my bag? She's like, I have, and she's like, I have a lot. Let's see how much damage I can cause to the ants I can cause of this. She starts dumping hundreds of loads.
But they're not coming up this direction. They seem to be not interested into this area, this hole now.
They're not interested in this particular hole.
It seems like they stopped trying to expand this direction because of blockages, and they're also using one of the areas as a trash area.
I guess Daba's gonna go down into the hole.
Maybe, are you sure? I'm gonna go back to whatever DJ is doing first before you do anything.
Right.
Stuff is more important. Whatever the hell a Divine's doing.
I know. Okay, DJ.
Because they're in a completely different area, and let you know it's not quick to get through the area where the ants are.
I know, because there's a bunch of tunnels and.
Yeah, because the actual area where generally the ants are, they're kind of a bit far underground. But then they have to go through a long tunnel that goes to another location.
Yeah, it's probably a labyrinthian maze of tunnels. Knowing ants. They do not dig in a straight line.
On rare occasions, they do sometimes make weird spirally things on occasions, but not often. Or they try to avoid certain things they can't dig through.
Like rock. Yeah.
They're ants that are kind of the size of. They're large creatures. They still have a stronger draw strength, so they can bite through the soft rock in this area because it's sandstone. So they can chew right through that very easily. They haven't gotten to a layer where it starts to change from that. Or mudstone, which is the other thing that would be there. Because that's the other rock that is that's in that area. And another rock that's decently soft is the, I think it's slate. Or the three that are around that area. That's what materials I do know that are in there. If you want to know what the hard material you could find there is my equivalent of, well, it's whatever andesite, my equivalent of andesite is.
Interesting.
which is actually black in color instead of its typical gray color or whatever the color usually is. But that's only one of the harder stones that are there. But you have to go pretty far underground to find it. Rock layers. Anyways. Meanwhile, so what are you going to do over there?
DJ. DJ?
Beans.
Huh, waiting for, well,
I don't know what to do at the moment.
DJ. It's your turn.
Oh, boop. Hello? Did you die?
DJ, it's your turn.
Insert potato.
It should concern me.
Well, I need to be right back for a quick minute.
Oh, okay. Okay, fearless leader. Go get him. Remember, if you're stuck with just a spoon, go for the eyes.
Eh, I returned. So is someone back yet, or is he still dead?
AJ.
How's it-
Okay, because we're trying to get you to get you to do stuff, dude. Because it is your turn.
Let's see.
Hmm. So what else do you have to do then? Because it's still, they managed to eventually, after a while, they managed to stop it. After a bit.
Ooh.
It did take a while. A lot of them did get wounded decently from trying to stop it. Because this took a good chunk of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, it's getting way too hot. Crap. Why is it getting hot when it's like night?
I don't know.
That should be theoretically impossible because the sun's not out.
I know, right? But it does anyways. I'll be right back. Because I am gonna try to cool off my body again. And hopefully not pass out.
Have you tried standing in the shower and just dumping some bottled water on your head?
He seems to cool himself off enough where he can counter it.
Just get a garden hose, man.
Or take a cold shower.
I don't know. I heard that shrinks. I heard that shrinks your willy. Well, they say that, but I've literally taken a cold shower, and that was still big afterwards. So I think they're full of shit.
Actually, a cold shower, what it does is actually makes you burn fat. That's what I heard. Because it's fighting, because your body is trying to warm yourself up.
Yeah. Problem is, if you stay cold for too long, you'll get hypothermia and die.
That's why quickly after, or slowly after, is slightly warm yourself up slowly. With warm water afterwards. Anyways, I was going to be away from my computer for a second, my laptop for a second, because I want to make myself something to eat. I am, for some reason, hungry. Or I think I'm hungry. It has. No, I don't want that type. I don't want that one. I can't. I wish my laptop wasn't fucking heavy.
So what are we doing now?
I do know I was trying to do something with DJ, but he keeps disappearing.
Well, I guess we have to move on
Mhm.
then.
Yeah, but the only person I'm willing to do things with isn't a divine, because it has to be related to a player, a character
Mhm.
that actually levels up. So
And I think you're just
We can
traveling right now.
can fast forward a day.
good. I'm trying to make myself something to eat though.
Fast forward to the point where Alrox arrives in town.
I'm trying to warm up some Chef RD. Don't mind me. You know, some weirdos like to eat it as it is, but I know. Hello?
What?
I'm eating Chef RD.
Oh.
God, this thing's hard to open. Okay. And then don't. That's, I know you're supposed to microwave this in the those little, those little containers you're supposed to put in the microwave. Usually don't like using them because I can't get the little plastic thing off and on of them. Is why. Let's see. This is weird. The microwave's throwing off the frequency of my head, or something is. Anyway, I guess DJ's trying not to melt, and we're trying to figure out. And I guess we're skipping to the actually that you got there.
What?
They're doing the skip that you just got to there, anyways.
Yeah. Did you put in the map for the town?
I think I did. I think this is it. That looks about right. Oops. I want. Yeah, that looks about right. That bigger. I think that's the town, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I need to be. Sorry. Yep. See, it's like goes down the road. And it's like, where's the where's the town? Isn't it supposed to be over here?
Over the, you need to see this point that it pointed out where it is.
Who?
It's like ahead of them.
Who points it out?
Is that it is?
Is that it? Oh yeah. That. All right. Walks over there is like. This is it here.
Yep. It's where we got that really good fish from.
Oh, yes. Is there... I guess I'm going to find someone to talk to. Someone who's been de facto in charge.
Sadly, he didn't tell us who we needed to talk to. That's the concerning part.
Ernest. She's not the best of help. Look, gonna walk on the docks here.
I think it would be whatever the person that's in charge of the docks is what the person more than likely has been running the place while you're not there. That was vaguely out of character, but that's a theory.
Yeah.
You do find that in the...
You wouldn't know to find that individual. Probably might come
Or
across
like
the church over here. going in. It's like, hello, is anyone here?
There is an individual there. I don't have a picture for them
Well, yeah,
because they're not really named. Because they're just in your average run-of-the-mill.
they're just your average priest.
Yep.
Excuse me,
But-
Father.
Oh, you're looking for the
Yes, I'm looking for, I guess, whoever's in charge.
Okay. At the 10 seconds. They would. They're at the They actually. I don't know. They kind of made a makeshift tavern. If you're aware, I'll let you know that.
What, like right here? I think that would be
It's
it right
actually-
there.
It's actually that structure.
There, alright. And he just like give the directions to it from here.
Yeah, he does. It's like past the little, I guess the little market that's right there.
Alright, thank you.
I'm gonna have to make something.
And he'll head on over there. And he like walks in.
No,
How busy is it in there?
it's decent. It's busy as it could be for something this big, but
Alright.
of a location. But because I think about the time you would have arrived here would be
Probably been about
Lunch hour?
noon. Noonish, maybe. Maybe
yeah, but I say
a little past noon.
so you're just missing generally lunch hour and that stuff.
Yeah. A couple hours after noon.
Let's see.
He was given a name by the priest, right?
I'm trying to get the image.
Okay.
I don't have it inside for that location, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find something, but I'm failing miserably. I really need to upload. I wish I can. It's one downside about this versus things on my phone. I keep on forgetting I need to put things on Discord so I can download it to my fucking computer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to open my phone because I have a picture that I'm just putting a placeholder on this one because I more likely have it on my phone. When I'm out about with my rides, sometimes I look for images on Pinterest. Anyways, let's see. That's not the correct image for him. Excuse me for a minute. Oh, there he is. Who is this? Okay. I know he doesn't look like he would be a dock worker, but he.
That's in there.
Yeah, because I can't put it on Roll20
Yeah.
without I downloading it from your. It'll eventually be on Roll20, but right now. Because I'll just have to grab it from you and download it onto my computer. But you only see the individual for the time being, or unless you want to show it to your audience.
Yeah, I knew that.
Somehow.
Well, I have a way of doing it. Yeah.
This is the dock worker individual. Even though they're appear to be, they don't look anything like someone that we work in at a dock, but it seems to know what he's doing. He looks like someone more of a mage. But he seems to know what he's doing.
There we go. There we go. Okay. So I guess he'll like go up to the bar and be like, "Excuse me, is there a Travis here?"
Hey. He's over there.
All right, thank you.
He's right now just organizing. It seems like he saw him in the corner doing something that comically looks like something that your half brother would be doing.
Excuse
Organizing
me.
paper, even though it's made of papyrus paper.
Excuse me, Travis. Well, I am understanding that you are sort of in charge here.
Well, only temporarily till you come over.
Yes. Well,
I've been organizing things best as I could, but limited on paper.
well, I guess that should be one of the first things worked on then? A paper mill?
Well, I know how to make paper out of reeds. That's what I've been using. There's a lot along the water.
What about paper out of wood? Paper...
But I don't think the wood. We don't have the stuff to be able to make the wood press at the moment. I have to turn the wood, the wood fibers into paper. And also make it the right color.
Well, papyrus. Papyrus paper it is.
The only other thing we have on occasion that we could get is parchment, but it's kind of hard to get as well. Not many of the animals here are that big. Because remember, parchment's from animal skin.
Yeah.
We usually have that from usually Piltova, but we don't have any of those. You know those little things you guys got that one time for milk back at Torridale one time? If you remember Catbox?
I think so, yeah.
He got some pygmy ones, you know, the slightly smaller ones. But that's the issue. They were kind of a very useful creature because they were used, their hide was used for making parchment paper. Because they were most commonly used for, their skin was used for that, or for food, or other sort of things. They mostly were, pretty much every bit of their body was used for something. And some of it was used for medicine. But they don't have that animal. I don't know if that creature exists in the wild, but because remember it was found originally in the wild in the first place. But if they have been seeing the creatures they have seen before, it more likely does, but where, unknown. Because it's one of the common livestock animals across the world from before.
Well,
because everybody knows it.
I think one of the first things we probably should put up here is a weather station, no?
I think we kind of made one, kinda. It's just, we don't have the crystals.
I can get some. I can have some sent down here. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough right now.
Too bad, quote unquote, out of character, a peachy berry that won't, sadly won't actually, don't actually exist. Whenever malfunction maybe go away, if you get the joke.
Mm-hmm.
If it's actually a cold. Or is it allergies?
No, I think it was a cold.
I know, so it would be a bacteria or virus or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So a peachy berry would be able to clear that your system. And then have a normal berry so you can boost your immune system. Those do not exist though in real life, sadly.
Yeah, no, I was mostly sick yesterday. I was fighting through it for the D&D session yesterday.
You know, random fictional fruits and items that we wish existed. But then everyone will market the shit out and on higher prices, but then they forget how easy those things are able to grow. Then they try to make it illegal for you to grow it, even though it's completely harmless. Yes, ironically, because peachy berries are kind of anti-pollution plant as well. Just let you know that, which is an interesting for it. Why it's special.
Well,
So yeah, but it's kind of doesn't take very long for it to grow because it usually takes about 5 days to grow in the actual Pokemon game.
well, I
Meanwhile,
can have the crystals be sent down here.
Yeah, we have an area to do some stuff to actually make the things. We just need certain stuff to start working on that.
Can
Is-
we make it
we
here,
have-
or do we need it to be brought in?
Yeah, so we can start converting them into different ones.
We can make it or be
Gradually over
brought
time.
in.
It just needs to be brought in.
I can have it sent down from Sox up north.
Okay. Because we have the metal bit. We have that big point. That's the weather station. That's the tower that's somewhere nearby. But I don't know where would it be though. But it's somewhere nearby.
Hmm.
But I don't know where you would have put the structure at out of character. But it's somewhere would be nearby.
For what?
The tower.
I don't think I put anything weather-wise here.
Yeah, but they made a tower for eventually
Oh.
for something similar, or something that they could use and to make it into a
No,
map.
they probably went up recently. Then, like after
Mm-hmm.
this map was made.
As they were gonna eventually, because they needed a one for
Well,
quote unquote.
Probably wouldn't be
like
put up on one of the higher spots in the area, right?
Not really. It was mostly that they were but not actually. It's not finished because they're missing gems
Yeah.
for it. But it is kind of somewhere in one of the higher points. But
Yeah, if it's like it was a higher spot, then it'd probably be like somewhere right here.
mhm. And maybe a makeshift kind of road go into it as well. But that's about it.
There's like a little tower there. Be a real thin road. More like a footpath.
Mhm.
Very well. Another thing. Well, there's another thing is to put up an administration building. This has just been all. What are you doing on the administrating?
Yeah, in this corner.
Well, all right. Is there a map of the area surveyed or whatever?
Generally decently surveyed. It mostly seem to have this mostly wild grain in some places. And a decent area, high hill that's over that area where we put the tower at. That way. And maybe it's somewhere, if we really want to, we could put when we ever feel like it, we could put a lighthouse somewhere.
Yes, that might go somewhere like over here. Points on the map. Somewhere over here.
Because it would be good because you also learn it gets foggy over here during this time during the season. So we can't do so fishing really early in the morning isn't really safe till the fog burns off.
Isn't fishing in the morning one of the best times to fish?
But we can't. It's kind of dangerous if you can't see barely like 3 feet in front of you.
All right, well, I guess This will be one of the first things to do is to put a lighthouse here. Marks this area for lighthouse. Put a lighthouse there.
Okay.
And I guess we can put up start putting up some buildings for administration over here.
Or would you? Where?
Marking with a black X over here.
Okay.
I don't know. Other than the lighthouse, is there anything else that is in need?
Mostly, it seems to be mostly functional. Other than, obviously, this needs port and buildings there, and also things that are for safety reasons because of the weather,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously the lighthouse is that one. And some means to receive stuff related from that thing that's been transmitting weather. I found a way to get a signal from it, but all it did is gave me a bloody nose.
What did you do to it?
Nothing. I was just trying to figure out what it was receiving. But I gave myself a headache and a bloody nose. Even though Mustafine would not have cared, but he would have said something a while ago. This guy isn't a normal person like everyone else.
Who would have said something?
He might be no one would have said anything, but remember, you would be able to detect that he isn't a normal citizen. This guy might be a champion.
Hmm.
But they're usually not upfront about it, though. But you can actually remember, you can sense that.
Or she's just gonna be like, doesn't care.
Even that's why him to be able to do something that absurd, maybe why he was able to do that.
Also marks out a spot for, I guess, the keep or his house, whatever.
Also, one other thing. What is it? Could we get one What are those banana fruits down here?
Banana fruit.
Just remember we grow them over there. I'd like to have one of them around here. So it's closer.
I
That's up
guess
to you if you
I
want
can
to do
have
that, or-
them. I guess I can have them send down some seeds with the tools needed.
Specifically the one that tastes like chocolate. Remember, the banana custard fruit? There's one that tastes like chocolate. It's one that looks like a normal banana. You know, the normal yellow one? Out of the custard bananas. It's the one way to get chocolate.
Yes,
Who doesn't like
I can have those be sent down here. Is there a postman?
the messenger, I can magically send something, but I just had to have permission to send stuff. Other than I didn't have a way to. I have a way to send things. It's just I got distracted by this stuff. By how much I was in the middle of documenting how much resources we gotten from them during the week. I'm almost done with that. As in what they have, how much fish and how much grain and how much land and everything else food they have it in general. Only reason why they want the chocolate one is they kind of morale boosting.
Yeah, so Alrix will. It's like, can I get one of those sheets of paper?
Sure.
All right. He's gonna sit down there and. Do you have an extra pen?
I have an extra piece of charcoal.
Oh,
That's what I've been using. That's what I've been using.
that works.
It works. It's not the best. It's not as good as ink or berry ink, but I don't think. But bulk berries don't grow in our area. No, actually they do, but they're kind of hard to find some reason.
Well, if you
I'm-
do find any berries, save them so we can cultivate them.
I know where we have them, but we have to go check that farming area to see if they how that if we got any decent harvest or not. If you know that one place where all that large berry area, to see if they have any bulk berries, because you can use that to make black dye, which you can use that to make black ink.
Yes, it probably is coming up on. Maybe in another month might be harvest season.
Yeah, because they grow kind of like blackberries.
Anyways, and he's gonna write a letter to Socks up in Socks about getting the tools needed and some of those banana custard bananas with
That are chocolate.
seeds as well.
So there were the yellow ones.
Yeah, he's writing to Westling.
Mm-hmm. It's what they are. It's the yellow ones that are the ones that are chocolate. But hey, it's one way to get chocolate without having cocoa. You get the idea? Out of character. Because it actually doesn't taste like. Because it only has the texture of banana, but it actually tastes fully like chocolate.
After he's done writing the letter, he'll hand it to Travis and be like, could you get this sent to him then, if you can send it?
Yeah, he just carefully just neatly folds it in a way where it looks like an envelope as best as he could, and then he just casually sends it by
Alright.
using send message. There we go. It should be sent.
Alright, hopefully we should have it down here in a week.
At least get a reply that it will be, that we get a confirmation.
Get an invoice and our order.
Generally, that's how that would work. Unless
Well,
there's a delay.
do we have any stone? I'm noticing a lot of the houses here are either wooden or straw.
It looks like it. It's not really. It's the motif of the mage crystal. Because remember, remember that mage crystal looks like something, but it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ellery is just going to keep him forgetting that.
Mage crystal?
Yeah, the mage crystal can make it look like something else that it actually isn't.
Well, where are you getting your stones then?
He just like tapped it. That's actually crystal.
Where are you getting the crystals then?
We make it.
Another way.
Yeah, but the crown, sadly, we can't make actual gemstones though. That's why we need those. As it's called mage crystal. Mage crystal is a secretion that we can create from our fingertips.
Hmm.
But it does have its limits though. But not completely at its limits.
Well, I need to have some artisans come down here. Blacksmiths and alike tailors.
Stuff things function just fine. It's later. At least it's more stylish than that, where it looks like a what's it called? A military stronghold, like someone made.
Oh,
No
like
offense, Juice.
like how
What? Like,
Huh?
oh, I forget the name of the town now.
Huh?
you,
What? What's going on?
I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought. That's okay. I guess it doesn't exist anymore in my brain. It's okay. Do we even have that map still?
Doron. That was the name of the town. Doron. Or city.
It's like a small, it's kind of like a.
Yes, I did feel that place was a bit gray. But too industrial for my taste.
Hey, at least this looks whimsical and looks like a fishing village, but not really at the same time. It's just creative.
I do
I
prefer
can make
something
sure-
more classical.
It's looking like this at the moment, but I can make it look like something else. See, you can be creative with the mage crystal. It can make it look like cobblestone. It actually look like straw. It actually make it look like something, but it also can withstand someone shooting a cannonball at it without it breaking. Which is convenient. And because most cannonballs are made of iron, and the stuff is strong as adamantine.
How did I help with that deal of something like that? Hopefully.
Make it very deceiving.
By the way, I think it's getting about ready for dinner time now.
Yeah, I need to finish this paperwork. I wish I just had it. I wish I had a proper office.
Yes, that's something we, we can have them start working on tomorrow.
Yeah, because I'm good at dealing with paperwork and everything. But I know you already kind of have a finance individual, but I've been also doing that. We don't have money, but I've been like resources in general that we have. Notice this individual seems to be very good at doing that, listing and organizing stuff they have in general. In other words, he's good at inventorying stock and that stuff.
That's good.
That seems to be his skill set. Or another person has kind of manager level skills, but has ability to also manage money at the same time. But don't have money because money doesn't exist. But didn't we make some claims that we don't know what to do with it? Or is that just a
I think Gilbo also had made some experimental coins, but the problem is there's no trade value for coins right now because they're not producing anything and they're not selling anything or buying anything. Thusly, there is no economy. Yeah. And if there's no economy, there's no sense of value. And if there's no sense of value, then money means nothing.
Other than the raw resources itself has value instead. For example, right now, they're having a paper shortage in their area, and they actually need paper. And even paper is worth more than the coins are. Which is funny.
I guess that's
Which
another
funny,
thing is I need to set up a thing for minting coins.
Yeah, but I don't do know what we would use that on, because we only have, because we don't have actually what to value what as. And we don't have a proper trade economy either. Either. It's mostly been a bartering thing. But
We'll find something. I think you would go to get something to eat for dinner.
Like I said, most of the stuff is empty. Is the individual. They haven't had currency. That's why they just seem to do this. Mostly food has been mostly not scarce. It's just they have limited on what it is. Since these are mostly fish here, they don't really have much. If you notice, there's not much desserts here.
Yes.
It's
I could
it's mostly
use
just
I could
bread.
use a good cake right now.
But they only have bread. They only have fish.
Yeah, probably like unleavened whole wheat bread. It's like the bread's pretty hard.
And soup. Fish soup specifically.
Fish soup. Well,
Like,
that is Nazetta's
Or-
favorite.
well, like better. Like, if you see our problem, we don't have many things down here. He just said, Travis says from the corner. We only have fish and grain and
Well, even
I think
even
potatoes.
Socks really didn't have much livestock at all.
But they had every fruit and every known fruit under the sun, though.
Now we're gonna have to domesticate
And also-
some
but
wild
at least-
animals.
But at least they had. I think you guys had. Only thing you got stuff from birds in that area though that you guys have down. At least you guys had eggs, so we can actually do something like this bread. Not he just breaks it in half. Like you're allowed to crunch. Anyway, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, is there any animals?
Other than
What
we have
animals are nearby here?
mostly we have the fish. We have something that's poisonous.
How about something that's not poisonous or fishy?
Nope.
We don't have any
Wonder
other.
also-
We don't have any terrestrial animals.
Not really that coming just over here too much. Usually they don't like coming over here because every time they do, we have crustaceans, which that's just still fish related.
Mm. I'm sure they also don't want the salt water.
Also, they don't want to get eaten by something that wants to come out of the water. That was a fun encounter.
Alright, well,
Yeah, I had to throw hands at something. That was great. Stupid Diacris.
I guess at dawn I'll have a team. Go out.
I had to fight an overglorified giant freaking a lightning alligator yesterday.
I guess I'll have a team on the dawn go to the side of this forest, further into the plains, see if they can find anything there.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. I bet there's something somewhere. It's just I haven't looked too much because we've been too busy trying to make sure we have some food in general.
Something similar to a bowl.
A boar would be nice. His bacon would be great right now.
Yeah. He's gonna. Alex is gonna
I wonder.
square
I
off
wonder if you can find. I wonder if you can
this
find Moss One.
area for any livestock that is found.
I know something might come and eat the grains, but I haven't seen anything that would come and graze. And people have been kind of scouting around, but haven't seen anything eating the wild grain. Almost like if they're afraid to come over here. I think I know why, but that thing's no longer alive.
Well,
That's why that's mounted on the wall over there. He points at the. I don't remember. Where is it? I can find the picture of it. No, I just want the copy. Here is it. Well, I have that thing is on the wall, mounted to the wall, like a stuffed one of that. Unless you know that thing
Oh.
isn't small.
I'm
Hey, why didn't
surprised
you-
you're able to fit that in here. I'm surprised I also didn't notice it when I came in.
It's just the head. It wanted to quote unquote attack the, but it tried to attack the coastline, our area yesterday. It wanted the fish. And I think that might be why things are afraid to come over here, because that thing can actually move around us.
Well, good thing it came in before we got here. Was it edible, at least?
Yes. We still
Well,
have
Then can I have some of its
leftovers of it.
meat for dinner?
I heard it tastes like chicken. We have quite a bit of it. It's gonna last for a while because that thing was like 15 tons. Is it not as big as it typically would be, from my knowledge? Because it was a much smaller one.
By the way,
That I'm familiar with.
take a medium rare of his meat. I'm sure dragon meat tastes delectable. Thick, juicy, and wet, am I right? What? What's so funny?
Nothing, that was a character noise.
Because he said that in character, too.
They didn't mean to do it in character, but that was funny. I know you said that in character, but out of character, that was being super freaky. I know.
Alex doesn't get innuendos.
I know. That's why I was trying to let my break first before I can go back to the character.
So does he...
He does get eventually. You do get it, but you realize a proper steak from this thing is about. This is you were given a slab of. It is perfectly cooked and everything, and properly or the way it should be, and it is literally this slab of meat is about 3 inches thick, and when it was set down, it actually makes a thud because the whole thing maybe weighs 10 pounds, and it takes up the total, barely fits on the plate. And also your sides had to have their own plate to actually go with it. And he realized this is actually from the tail of the damn thing.
Lizette, you want to go halfsies with me? You wanna have half this?
I don't think I can handle half of that.
How about just a corner piece then?
Yeah, I can do that.
If I'm even able to cut this thing.
They were giving them a very proper steak knife and everything.
No, you just like give him a cleaver. Just give him a butcher's knife.
No, they were given my proper one of those a fine it's a proper crystalline knife. In other words, one of their mage crystal knives. You see, remember, most of their stuff is made of mage crystal, so it's antimentine. Level cutting. So Yay.
He's gonna try cutting into it.
He's able to, because it's actually very soft. But the outer area, seems like the skin is not there. It's just like what it cuts through it almost like it's like butter.
Here you go, Nazetta. Your corner.
I guess she just gets a little tiny piece to try. It does taste like chicken, but has the texture of ham.
You'll get into it as well.
Huh. And also, it's not as calorie. Let you know. I do. It's actually, even though it's big as it is, it's not as calorie dense as you think it is. It's just people think it is because how big it is. But it is recommended to split it with one other person now. Because it is equivalent of 2 steaks there. You
Well,
put it on.
It's kind of hard when the other person has already had a full bowl of fish soup. Right, I think
That's why usually people ask for a quarter of a steak.
I wasn't. Well, when I asked for a full steak, I didn't think it was gonna be, size of a cow.
Like I said, these things are not small.
After eating what
So
he's able to eat, actually, let me roll to see how much of it he can eat. What would I roll for that? Like Constitution or something?
Generally, it won't make you sick or anything because has a weird property to it. But don't worry about it too much. Worse if it can do is make you go unconscious. It's a food coma food.
Alright, that's a 5.
What did it do to you?
A 5 before the modifier.
Okay. I mean, you're fine. It's just, but after eating most of what you could eat, you're eepy.
Alright, well, is there a room set aside somewhere?
We do have rooms in there because it's not just taverns, also an inn. We could have saved it for you when you got in here.
Alright, well, I think I'll go to bed now.
If you know that problem when you eat too much turkey,
Yeah.
it's the same problem with Legiacris meat.
He's gonna start walking up the stairs towards the rooms, and he's just gonna clonk out on the stairs. Doesn't even make it to the day, just falls asleep on the stairs.
I'm just sitting there like, like essentially someone does help you get up there. But it actually is a decent leftover. of the one stuff. Because it's not all normal steak, because it has, the texture of pork. Because you can tell it could be perfect for like a breakfast item, but it still has that run problem of making you sleepy though. If you eat too much of it, because it has a weird enzyme in it.
So I guess this would be a good point to end it then, right?
I guess. I don't know what else to do at the moment. The DJ's unconscious,
Yeah,
or
I'm gonna have
whatever the hell
to
he's.
start off with whatever we needed to do with him next time. All right. See y'all next time.
JJ,
We might
slap
be
your
hurt.